Given the severity of the findings, we voted to place Superintendent Robinson on paid administrative leave effective immediately, and we have developed a plan to take swift action regarding his status.
Well, that was the Akron Board of Education moments after they voted to place Superintendent Dr. Michael Robinson on leave. He's accused of bullying staff and administrators. We first alerted you about the accusations back in 2024. Now, the most recent update is shocking a lot of people, including parents. 19's Noelle Williams shares their concerns.
So with those accusations, you don't feel comfortable with your kids being...
Not knowing that, heck no, heck no.
It's a hard no when it comes to bullies, whether it's students, teachers, or administrators. When Jordan Verdon drops her children off at school, their safety is always top of mind. But the most recent actions taken against Akron's superintendent is putting that into question.
Much of Superintendent Robinson's negative conduct is in clear violation of the APS Code of Conduct and is simply not acceptable conduct by a school official.
In his second year at the district, Superintendent Dr. Michael Robinson has been placed on paid administrative leave. The board voted on that decision Tuesday. Back in 2024, 19 News reported he was accused of bullying and intimidating staff and administrators. That sparked an investigation. In a release from the board, it says 16 former and current employees were interviewed, backing the claims. Parents like Michael Hartney fear the possible bad behavior could spill into the classroom. And what example does that set for students? If, students see that happening with teachers and superintendents, that they feel like it's okay?
Yep, it's okay for them to do it too. And it's not. If people are coming to and saying that he is acting the way he's acting, then they should get somebody new.
A final decision on Robinson's job will be made at the next board meeting on April 28th. Until then, Mary Oatley, the executive director of school learning, will serve as an interim superintendent. Ultimately, parents just want a safe and productive learning environment for their children.
School should be a safe place, bully-free.
In Akron, Noelle Williams, 19 News.
And the full investigation into Dr. Robinson is expected to be released soon. However, just a few moments ago, the mayor of Akron released his official statement on the removal of the superintendent. Here it is. Akron Public Schools is an essential institution in our community. And I know that interim superintendent Mary Oatley and the outstanding staff and leadership at APS will help lead our city school district forward. He goes on to say, I am confident in their abilities and unwavering commitment to Akron students, and I look forward to working with the entire APS team as we continue building on a strong city school district partnership for the benefit of all Akron residents. In this moment, we all need to rally around APS and focus on how to best uplift and support APS staff, teachers, and most importantly, Akron's students.